Hi loves, welcome to a reading for the full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. That one hits hard. That one actually makes me tear up a little bit. I think in terms of sometimes when we're wanting a certain thing or a relationship or a job, we think that we need to do another thing. Oh, once I have more money, once I lose the weight. If only, for me, even something as simple as like my freckles didn't make me feel good enough to be loved, to be cherished, to be wanted. So that root belief, that belief of not good enough, will find a new thing to latch on to prove itself as not good enough. And the feeling of being wanted and chosen really results down to just feeling good enough. And my dad just started vacuuming while I'm filming this, but I'm gonna keep pressing on in hopes that the audio is not too bad. And I'll check in at the end and see if we can hear it or not. It's good enough. Okay. And in terms, I don't openly talk about the fact that, I was raised religious, and I do feel like religious institutions tend to be a breeding ground for creating lack of worthiness and not feeling good enough. And so in relationship patterns, we often feel not wanted and not chosen because we don't feel good enough. So that's something that I have shifted through. I'm not shifting through it anymore. I've shifted through it, knowing that I'm good enough exactly as I am, and things are good enough exactly as they are right here and right now. All right, I'm going to get a energy reading from the Modern Witch Tarot for this full moon. What is the current energy? Oh, King of Cups. So the King of Cups is spiritual, wise, emotional, somebody who has this kind of emotional resonance. And I'm really tired of the word emotional intelligence, because usually it comes through in an intellectualization of emotions. Like, people can sit there and discuss their emotions without actually feeling them. I'm emotionally intelligent. But it's this emotional expressiveness and our ability to actually know that we're a safe container to feel our emotions. When we shame ourselves for emotions, or other people shame us for emotion, it's just a reflection of that self-shaming, that self-rejection of our own emotions and the fear of our own emotions. What we suppress or resist makes us tired, and it makes us exhausted, and our emotions are really just energy in motion. So the thing is knowing that you can be emotionally available to yourself first. Being able to be emotionally expressed and to actually feel the emotions. There's much difference about talking about what you're feeling rather than feeling what you're feeling. And I always like to think about children. My tummy feels empty, as opposed to I think I'm hungry. They're actually feeling and experiencing that emotion. And the more you're connected to your emotions, the more you allow them to flow through you without giving them any resistance, but from a place of just knowing you're safe to contain them and safe to feel them, you become a really potent manifester. And a lot of times in manifesting communities, it is the fear of fear itself that can put us in this resistance hell loop. I have been there, and I am now learning to just fully surrender to any suppressed emotions or something coming up, because it wants to be felt, it wants to be seen, it wants to be heard, and it wants to be expressed. What is the limiting belief to release at this time? Oh, beautiful. Four of Wands. This is a card of celebration. It's a card of union. It's even kind of sometimes the wedding card. And I feel like the limiting belief to release at this time is that love and partnership and connection is not meant for me. So a lot of times, holding this underpinning that we'll be disappointed in love, dissatisfied in love, that we're unsuccessful, that we're not lucky in love. And so we look at other people who may have these enchanting love lives and determine it's not for us. So what if just for today you started to believe that you're lucky in love, that you can expect success in love, in life, in all areas of your life? What if you just believed today that maybe you were safe to be in love again, safe to be coupled? Because we can only actually receive those things that we feel safe having. And that's why sometimes they come in and they go out. And if it's been taking a while for you to receive what it is that you want, know that the shifts are happening on that deep cellular level, that nervous system level. And the more that you can create a safety of container for yourself to feel things, the more that you'll be able to know in your body that you can handle anything that comes through. So I am safe to feel. I am safe to be coupled. Why am I so lucky in love? You can comment any of those things down below. All right, and the final outcome for this portion of the spread. Ooh, interesting. 5 of Swords. This is conflict, disagreement, walking away. And I actually think it's a walking away from the past, the limitations of the past, from walking away from your self-saboteur, walking away from the feeling of disappointment, because sometimes we live in the structure of being the fear of disappointment keeps us sad and stuck, but we're more afraid of the pain of disappointment. So we don't hope, we don't strive, we don't put ourselves out there again because we're afraid to be disappointed. And then therefore we align with disappointment rather than success. Can you actually allow yourself to fully feel into your body in that place of disappointment? And where is that in your body? Where does it live? And actually just bringing your full awareness and even your hands to that place and knowing that you're safe enough to feel it. And because you're seeing it, you can release it now. So this is the final outcome, which is that release of the self-saboteur, the release of the fulfillment of our disappointment and stepping into the fulfillment of our fulfillment. I expect success. All right. If you're getting a message from someone in your life that you want to connect with, and we're always connected, that you want to connect with maybe energetically. Actually, that card just came out, and I'm going to pull another one too. Oh, I feel you leaving me behind, and I hide behind material things. Okay, let's go with this one. I feel you leaving me behind. Yes, maybe you're energetically shifting into a different frequency and a different resonance. And sometimes the old frequencies release themselves. But it's always your choice. At the end of the day, you decide if people come with you and they elevate in frequency, and if you want to hold the vision of them in a higher level of frequency. And sometimes you decide you don't want to. Sometimes you decide that you let the old frequencies go and fade away. And sometimes you actually hold the vision of that person in a higher level of frequency. And the time that it takes for it to shift is just the time for the frequency, the matter, the energy to dematerialize and rematerialize. And then this one, I hide behind material things. So interesting. Do we exchange money for love? Do we exchange sex for love? Do we exchange our time for attention? You know, those kind of things are the question too. Hiding behind the material things, thinking that these things will lead to a fulfillment for us. But at the end of the day, oh, there's my cat at the door scratching now. At the end of the day, just a second. Okay. At the end of the day, you'll reach some kind of fulfillment, and then a new thing will come up. And I actually was reading about how we're always going to be at a state of wanting more, no matter what it is. And so actually embracing the journey of wanting that thing and the journey towards it. Here we are. Okay. And then from the Whispers of Love, treasure your loved ones. It's important to love others deeply. Yes, treasure your time, treasure yourself. This has come out before too. And I think it's because I tried to shift it, I have shifted into the identity of seeing myself as a treasure. And treasuring yourself too. I'm going to leave that reading here before we get any more distractions today. But I love you, I value, I treasure you. We are limitless. As I speak it, I create it. So mote it be, and sealed with a kiss.